My beloved child, do not turn away from this moment. I know why you are here. I have seen you waking up to the same heavy silence day after day, looking at the circumstances of your life and wondering why the mountains haven't moved. You have been pleading for a shift, a sign, or a single door to open, yet everything remains exactly as it was when you first began to cry out to me. I know the exhaustion that comes from praying the same prayers until the words feel hollow in your mouth. You have watched the seasons change outside your window, while your own heart feels frozen in a long winter wait. It has begun to feel personal, hasn't it? The quiet has started to feel like distance, and the delay has started to feel like a denial. But I want you to stay right here with me. There is a reason the landscape hasn't shifted yet, and it isn't because I have forgotten you. There is a movement happening beneath the surface of your life, a deep, holy work that requires this very stillness. You are being prepared for something your current strength cannot yet carry. Rest your heart for a moment. There is more I need to tell you, my child. I have called you here to this quiet corner of your day because I know what you have been carrying. I know how heavy the silence has become. You didn't find your way to these words by accident. I have been waiting for you, right here in the middle of the stillness that feels so empty to you. I see you. I have always seen you. I know the weight of the minutes as they turn into hours, and the days that seem to fold into one another, without any sign of the shift you've been pleading for. You wake up, and the world looks exactly as it did when you closed your eyes. The same struggle, the same absence, the same unanswered question. I have heard you whispering into the dark. I have heard the way your voice grows tired of repeating the same prayers, asking for a door to open, for a heart to soften, or for the pain to finally lift its hand from your chest. You are so very tired of being told to be patient, aren't you? I know how it feels when hope starts to feel like a burden instead of a gift. There is a specific kind of ache that comes when you look around and see others moving forward while you remain in the same place. I was there when you watched them receive their breakthrough, and you wondered, just for a second, if I had forgotten where you live. I saw the tear you brushed away, so no one would see your heart breaking under the pressure of another not yet. You feel as though you are standing on the shore watching the tide go out, wondering if it will ever return for you. And I know the thought that keeps you awake when the house is quiet. It's the fear that my silence is actually distance. You wonder if you've done something to cause this, if there is a hidden flaw in you, a mistake you haven't fixed, or a lack of faith that has made me turn my face away. You search your heart for a reason, thinking that if you could just find the why, the waiting would be easier. You feel like a child left in a room, listening for a footstep in the hallway that never seems to stop at your door. But I want you to breathe. Just breathe here with me. You haven't been cast aside. I am not hiding from you. I know it feels like nothing is happening, but I want you to look closer. Not at the world outside, but at what has been happening within the walls of your own soul. Do you see how the waiting has changed, the way you hold your hands? They aren't clenched as tight as they used to be. Do you see how your heart has softened, even through the bruising? The waiting has stretched you. It has hollowed out spaces in you that you didn't know existed, and though those spaces feel like empty caverns right now, I have seen them becoming wide and deep. I have watched you learn a language of trust that doesn't need a visible sign to speak. You are becoming someone different in this quiet, someone more resilient, someone more capable of holding the weight of what is coming. The shifts are small, almost invisible, like the way a seed breaks underground long before the first green leaf ever dares to touch the light. You feel like you are failing because you are struggling, but I see you surviving. I see the quiet courage it takes to just keep breathing when the change you need feels a lifetime away. I am not far. I am not watching you from a distance, waiting for you to figure this out on your own. I am right here, in the heavy center of the not yet. I am in the sigh you just let out. I am in the way you are still listening, even when you feel like you have nothing left to give. Nothing has changed on the outside yet. The sky is the same color and the burden is still there at your feet. But you are not standing there alone. I am holding you in the middle of the uncertainty, and I am not in a hurry to leave. We are here together, in this space between what was and what will be. You don't have to have the answers. You don't even have to have the strength. You just have to stay here with me, in the quiet, where you are fully known and deeply loved, where the shadows are not a sign of my absence, but a place where I am drawing you closer to my side. I know that when the darkness lingers, it begins to feel like a wall, something meant to keep you out or keep you hidden. But I want you to look at those shadows differently. Think of the way a gardener covers a delicate seed with earth, not to bury it, but to protect it while it undergoes a transformation that the sun would only scorch. You have felt buried lately. You have felt the weight of the soil above you, pressing down, cutting off the view of the horizon you once saw so clearly. You've wondered if this season of obscurity is a punishment or a mistake, but I was there when the first layer of earth was laid down. I have been there for every moment you felt the light fading. I am not hiding the sun from you. I am shielding you while the work that can only be done in the deep, quiet dark takes hold of your roots. There are things I am teaching your heart that the daylight could never show you. In the light, you look at the circumstances. In the dark, you look for me. In the light, you rely on what you can see, what you can measure, and what you can control. But here, where the edges of your life feel blurred and the path ahead is obscured, you are learning to listen for the sound of my breathing. You are learning that my hand hasn't let go of yours, even when you can't see the lines on my palm. I remember how it felt when the sky went dark and the world felt like it was ending. I remember the silence of the tomb, the cold, the stillness, the heavy stone that seemed so final. To those watching from the outside, it looked like the end of the story. It looked like a defeat. But in that silence, in that hidden place away from the eyes of the world, the greatest victory was being woven together. The stillness wasn't empty. It was pregnant with life. Your stillness is not empty either. I see the way you try to bargain with the clock. You think that if you could just get past this month or this year or this one specific hurdle, everything would finally make sense. But I am not working on the clock's time. I am working on the soul's time. I am looking at the person you are becoming while you wait. I see the pride that is slowly melting away, replaced by a beautiful, fragile humility. I see the self-reliance that is breaking down, making room for a strength that doesn't come from your own will, but from my spirit dwelling within you. I know it hurts to be broken down. I know the friction of this season feels like it's wearing you thin, but I am the potter and my hands have never left the clay. I am not pushing you to break you. I am pressing you to shape you. Every moment of this nothing is a stroke of my brush, a touch of my thumb, a refining fire that is burning away the dross so that when you finally step into the light, you will reflect me more clearly than you ever thought possible. You feel like you are losing time, but I am redeeming it. Nothing is being wasted, not a single tear, not a single sigh, not a single night where you felt completely alone. I have gathered every one of those moments and I am weaving them into a tapestry that you cannot see yet because you are standing too close to the loom. Stay here with me. Don't try to run ahead into a future I haven't opened yet. Don't reach for a solution that would only bypass the growth I am cultivating in you right now. I know the ache of the not yet is sharp. but I am the one who holds the blade and the balm. I am with you in the pressing. I am with you in the quiet. I am with you in the shadows. You are being prepared for a weight of glory that the person you used to be could never have carried. Rest your head against me. Let the questions go for a while. The world can wait. The answers can wait. I am here, and for this moment, that is all you need to know. We are together in the dark, and I am not letting go, even as you feel the exhaustion of holding on yourself. I know that your grip is slipping. I see how your fingers have grown numb from clutching at promises that feel further away today than they did a year ago. You feel as though if you stop striving, if you stop worrying, if you stop trying to solve the mystery of this delay, everything will fall apart. But I want you to know that it is safe to let your hands fall. You are not the one keeping the world spinning. You are not the one holding your life together. I am. I see the exhaustion in your eyes when you look at the mountain that hasn't moved. You've prayed for it to be cast into the sea. You've spoken to it. You've wept at its base. And yet it still casts a shadow over your home. You feel like a failure because the mountain is still there. You think that if your faith were only a little larger, a little more perfect, the landscape would have shifted by now. But I am not looking at the mountain. I am looking at the way you have learned to walk in its shadow. I am looking at the way you have found water in the desert at its feet. I remember a time when the wind was howling and the waves were breaking over the sides of a small boat. My friends were terrified. They were straining at the oars, their muscles aching, their hearts convinced that the water would be their grave. They looked at me and thought I didn't care because I was resting. They thought my stillness meant I was indifferent to their drowning. But I was not indifferent. I was the peace in the middle of the storm. I wasn't waiting for the storm to stop before I offered them rest. I was offering them rest while the waves were still high. I am offering that same rest to you now. You keep looking for the after. You keep thinking, I will be okay after the healing comes. I will be at peace after the debt is gone. I will be happy after the door opens. But if I gave you the after right now, you would miss the miracle of the during. There is a grace that is only available in the middle of the mess. There is a closeness that only happens when you are at the end of yourself. If I changed everything today, you would return to the person who relies on circumstances. But I am making you into someone who relies on me. I am doing a work in the hidden places of your heart that requires this specific timing. If I moved too soon, the fruit I am growing would be bitter. It would be small and underdeveloped. I am letting it ripen. I am letting the patience I have planted in you turn into something sturdy and unshakable. You want relief, and I understand that ache. I felt the weight of the cross, and I know the human cry for the cup to pass. But I also know the glory that comes when the cup is stayed. I know the strength that is forged when the answer is wait. You are worried that the time you are spending in this waiting room is wasted time. You feel like life is happening elsewhere to other people, and you are stuck in a stagnant pool. But there is no such thing as stagnant time in my kingdom. Even when nothing is moving on the surface, the deep currents are shifting. I am moving people you haven't met yet. I am closing doors you would have walked through to your own hurt. I am arranging the heart of the one you are praying for, or the mind of the one who holds the key to your next step. You cannot see the invisible threads I am pulling. You cannot see how I am weaving your story into 1,000 other stories. If you could see the complexity of the movement I am directing on your behalf, you would not ask why it is taking so long. You would marvel that I am doing so much with so little. I know the silence is loud. I know it feels like I am being silent because I am angry, or because I am testing you, but I don't test you to see if you will fail. I test you to show you that you can stand. I am proving to you that you are stronger than you think. because my strength is the floor beneath your feet. You are not breaking, you are being forged, and the fire is not meant to consume you, it is meant to make you pure. Stay in the fire with me a little longer. Don't try to climb out before the work is done. Lean into the heat of the unknown and let it burn away the fear that has kept you small for so long. I am right here. The smell of smoke will not even be on your clothes when we walk out of this together. But for now, just let me hold you while the flames do their work. You don't have to understand the fire to be safe within it, because there is a purpose in the heat that your eyes cannot yet perceive. I want you to consider the way a seed feels when it is tucked away in the dark, cool earth. To the seed, it must feel like the end of the world. It is surrounded by pressure, covered in silence, and far away from the warmth it once knew. It feels forgotten. It feels like nothing is happening. But that pressure is exactly what is needed to crack the outer shell, the part of the seed that is hard and protective, but also the very thing that keeps it from becoming what it was meant to be. If the shell does not break, the life inside can never reach for the sky. I know it feels like your life has been under a heavy pressure lately. You have been waiting for me to lift the weight, to remove the soil, to bring you back into the light. But what if the pressure you are feeling isn't meant to crush you? What if it is gently, persistently breaking the shell of your own strength, your own plans, and your own timing, so that the life I have planted deep within you can finally break through? I am not ignoring your prayers for change. I am answering the prayer of your soul to be made whole. I see the way you look at the horizon, searching for a sign that the season is shifting. You are tired of the not yet. You are tired of the unanswered why. But I want you to look at your hands again. Do you see how they have learned to stay open? A few months ago, they were clenched in a fist, trying to grab hold of a future you couldn't control. Now they are resting. That is not a sign of defeat, my child. That is the beginning of peace. You are finally learning that you can be okay, even when the circumstances are not. That is the change I have been waiting for. I haven't changed the situation yet, because I was busy changing you. I was teaching you that I am enough. Even in the silence, I was showing you that my love for you isn't measured by how quickly I give you what you want, but by how closely I stay with you in the waiting. We have walked through the weight of time together. We have sat in the quiet fear that I was distant. We have looked at the subtle shifts in your heart that didn't look like answers at first. And through it all, you have stayed. You are still here. The stone hasn't rolled away yet, and the mountain is still standing where it always has. But look at yourself. You are not the same person who started this walk with me. You are deeper. You are quieter. You are more beautiful in your vulnerability than you ever were in your certainty. The nothing you have been experiencing was actually the most crowded, active season of your life. It was just happening in the one place you couldn't see, within you. So take a deep breath. Let the tension leave your shoulders. The world is still in my hands, and you are still the apple of my eye. The breakthrough will come in its time, and when it does, you will be able to carry it without it breaking you, because you have been tempered in the wait. You are ready now, in a way you weren't before. I am not going anywhere. Whether the change comes tomorrow or a year from now, I will be the constant beat of your heart and the breath in your lungs. You are loved with an everlasting love, and that is the only thing that will never change. I would love to hear what your heart is carrying today. If you feel like sharing the weight you've been holding, or the small ways you've seen your own heart change in the silence, please tell me. I am listening, and there are others here who are waiting too, who might find comfort in knowing they aren't the only ones in the dark. If this moment together brought you a sense of peace, perhaps you could let others know by liking this reflection or staying with us for the journey ahead. It helps our family grow, and it ensures that no one has to feel forgotten in their own season of waiting. Go now in peace. I am with you, always.